Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And tonight, man oh man, we're going to be doing something special here, folks. We're going to be breaking down, beat by beat, one of the most batshit crazy movies I have ever seen in theaters, bar none. We're going to be going through the madness that is Serenity. No, not the Joss Whedon Firefly movie. The other Serenity, the Matthew McConaughey Serenity. Okay, here's the twist, folks. I have seen this movie twice in theaters. I unabashedly love it as a so bad it's good movie. Like, to me, Dragon, I got to admit, this might be one of my top 5 so bad it's good movies ever. It's up there. It's up there. And Dragon, you have not seen this movie at all.
Nope.
You know next to nothing about it, right?
I know maybe 5 things total. That's about it. I got like barely anything really.
So I'm really excited about this, folks, because we are going to break down the madness here. Dragon, I have been stewing on it. I wanted to go over this whole rant and soliloquy that we're about to go through with my coworkers, but I kind of sold my coworkers on seeing it, so they're like, no, don't tell us the twist. We want to see it for ourselves. So Dragon, just to be clear, you don't mind being spoiled on this one.
Okay, let me put the framework on this for people to know what we've kind of agreed to here, what we're going to be in for. So basically, we're doing the Smodcast style. Now, what I mean by that, this is like kind of classic Kevin Smith telling Scott Mosier, who has not seen a movie, everything that's in the movie. Pretty much what he did with Dark Knight Rises on kind of the crossover for Fat Man on Batman, when he literally kind of had the love fest over every scene of Dark Knight Rises. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. Tiki's going to recap something that I have no intention of ever seeing, and especially based on going to have Tiki type this up. So I know nothing about this, and I have no desire really. Basically, I'm going to be fine being spoiled entirely on this thing. So once again, folks, think Smodcast on this one. So he's going to be unfolding the whole narrative for me here, as much as he can beat by beating out every single camera flourish, mind you, but still, he's going to be walking me through chronologically what happens.
I mean, like I said, I've seen this thing twice in theaters now, so it's like, Dragon, that's rare for me to see a bad movie more than once in theaters, but this has that honor, all right?
Bear in mind, we've never done anything like this before, at least on air. We've never done anything like this before on air. The last time we've really done like a whole movie beat by beat was like during the Wonderkin year that was 2014 with all 3 of the big Marvel movies, with Guardian, Winter Soldier, and even ipso facto Days of Future Past.
Right.
Because that's the last time we kind of broke ourselves from kind of doing that. Maybe Ultron. I don't think we did it for Ultron, but I know it's been a while. But anyway.
All right, so Dragon, I just want to quickly start by I just want to lay the groundwork for exactly what you know about this movie, just so the audience can just know how much you don't know about this.
All right, folks, this is everything I know about this movie. Okay. All right, so it's like 5, maybe 5.5, give or take. Here, you know. Okay, it's called Serenity, and it's not. It basically stole the name from a Joss Whedon movie. Okay, 2. The main 3 stars, or at least 3 of the stars who appear in this movie. You got Matthew McConaughey, you got Anne Hathaway, and you have Jason Clarke. Who I know primarily from, I've seen him in saw him in the Channing Tatum White House movie. Was it just White House Down? That's what that was.
Yeah.
Even White House Down, of course, the best performance I've seen him in. Personally, I saw him in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is really good.
And he was also in my worst movie of 2018, which was Winchester.
And I'm sure he's popped up from here and there too. So I've probably seen a number of other things. But those are the 2 that kind of jumped to mind first and foremost with Jason Clarke. So again, those are the 3. I know the actors. I vaguely remember that. Well, I remember the name from something else. I know basically the image that we had before us here, this gag that Tiki.
This is my favorite line in the movie.
Nothing but a hooker who can afford hooks, who can't afford
hooks.
I think. Well, I know about basically gist of the premise that I know vaguely is that Anne Hathaway, she's in an abusive relationship with Jason Clarke's husband character, and she's kind of phrased this colorfully, but I don't know, in this movie it could be literal, who knows. She wants McConaughey's character to kill her husband and feed him to sharks, or feed him to sharks as the measure of killing him. The latter would be more interesting, probably the former, though. So let's see. I think that's about, and it's just crazy overall. It's pretty much. I think it's pretty much all I know about the
You
movie.
know, it has a crazy, batshit insane plot twist. You don't know what that plot
I know
twist,
it's flopping at the box. That's something I learned today. It's flopping at the box office. I think that's everything I know about the movie.
which
Okay.
is Dragon. The fact that it's flopping at the box office is like the main reason I went out and saw it today, because God knows it might not be next week.
All right, so, and of course, just on general, like I remember the last thing I saw Anne Hathaway, Matthew McConaughey was Interstellar, which is rather good. Not
Yep.
great, but
Yep.
good.
Okay, let's dive right in, Dragon. Let's dive right the fuck in.
Well, tell me who directed this.
All right. So the movie starts with a close up of a kid that you will soon learn is McConaughey's son staring at a computer, right?
Oh, wait, real quick. Do you know who directed this?
The same director as Locke with Tom Hardy, Travis Knight.
Wait, hold. Travis Knight directed this?
Yeah.
The same Travis Knight who did Kubo and Bumblebee.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not Travis Knight. It's Stephen Knight. Stephen Knight.
Don't scare me like that.
Oh dear God, no. I'm sorry. Wrong night.
All right. Anyway, okay.
No, this guy did Locke with Tom Hardy, which was actually relatively good. So.
All right. Okay. False alarm, folks. Keep going. Okay. So hit me with the sun thing again.
Okay, so we see a close up of a son looking at a computer, like Matthew McConaughey's son. We don't know it's his son yet. It's just a kid.
All right, kid.
Looking at his computer, and then the camera like zooms into his eye all artistically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a shot like, whoa, the ocean, the fucking ocean, Serenity. We're here. We're doing this. Matthew McConaughey's on a boat. He's on a boat in the middle of the ocean. He's got a couple tourists on his boat who are passed out drunk off of cans of like Bud Light or something. And then McConaughey sees this bird in the sky. It's some sort of like rare bird that I guess is like a symbol of like, I don't know, Dragon. There's a lot of symbols that don't go anywhere in this movie, but I'm doing my best to give you a beat by beat here.
Okay, so McConaughey's bird watching. What else?
Basically. And so then Jimon Hansu comes out. I forgot yeah, he's in the movie too.
Hey, Jimon Hansu. He's going to be in Shazam this year.
I feel really bad for Jimon Hansu in this movie, Dragon, so don't get too excited.
Guy's a great actor. I feel bad when he gets some projects like this.
All right, so he comes out and he's like, "You see it, Captain?" And McConaughey is like, "Yeah, that must mean he's close." And then we see the fishing line that the tourists have, you know, because McConaughey's running like a tourist like fishing vessel. Basically, he takes tourists out on fishing expeditions.
Gotcha.
And the fishing line like starts to like rapidly like, you know, reel itself in as if it's caught something, right?
Yeah.
So McConaughey grabs the line and he starts pulling it in, and he's like, "Oh, I know it. It's her. I can feel it. I can feel it." And like wake up from their drunken stupor, and they're like, "Hey, we paid $800 for this trip. Give us the line, man." And McConaughey's like, "Back off. Hey, this is..." And then Dragon, the first really funny, like, "Oh my God, what am I watching?" thing happens like about a minute into the movie. McConaughey pulls out a really big fucking knife and waves it in the tourists' faces. And he's like, "Go downstairs. Ah, this is mine."
So he's basically playing psychotic Jim Varney. It's pretty much what he's playing.
No, I'm just doing a bad McConaughey accent, Dragon. There's no Jim Varney in there.
Okay.
He's playing psychotic. He's playing psychotic McConaughey from the Lincoln commercials, all right?
Right.
Like that's about as deep as McConaughey performance gets in this movie. Is
playing car commercial McConaughey.
Okay, so anyways, long story short, we see an extended sequence of him trying to lure in this big fish, which we learn, Dragon, is a giant tuna.
So it's not Albert Finney.
No. It's not a whale. It's not a shark. McConaughey's Moby Dick in this movie is literally a giant tuna.
Okay, big tuna.
Yep. So McConaughey he almost has the tuna. He's like, he calls Jimon Hansu out to help him cut it off. You know, he's like, "I can feel it. It's broke. It's dead in the water. I got it. This is my moment." And then fish swims away right as they cut the rope.
So if you think, okay, wait, hold on, let me break this down just a smidge here. Okay, so he thinks the fish is dead, that it's given up life.
Yes.
In like the fight, basically, he's got this thing. I just want to make sure I'm tracking this right. You correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so fish is on the line.
Yes.
And, you know, from these tourists, they by some whimsy they catch a fish jaw style, and it's like you know, kind of tugging on the water, all well shot and stuff. And
Right.
Oh my God, I'm not letting this one. It's the big one, and he threatens it with a knife. Like, back off, man! This is mine.
Yeah.
You see a fish, and he's so in tune with the line, he can feel like, oh yeah, I can feel his dead. I can feel his dead. Reel him, get them, cut him when I get him up. And of course, he gets him up, and of course, the minute they cut the line, fish swims away because it was secretly alive, which is a big blow to McConaughey's ego. Am I following along?
Yeah. Basically,
okay.
You got it. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly the opening of the movie, Dragon.
Okay, fish swims away.
And then one of the tourists is like, Dragon, I love the excessive use of profanity in this movie because some of these lines are ridiculous. One of the tourists just has a beer, cracks open a beer, and he's like, "You're out of your fucking mind if you think we're getting $1 for this fucking shit show." That's a line, Dragon. They use "fuck" 3 times in one.
That they're getting $1, that they're giving $1 for all this stuff that happens.
No, well, basically the tourists are like, you're out of your mind if you think you're getting $1 for this fucking shit show.
Gotcha.
So basically, they're not paying.
Right. Basically, they're Spider-Man 2 in the pizza. They're okay.
Pretty much. All right. Oh God, Dragon. That's just the opening scene, man. This is gonna break me. Oh God, we have so much to go. We have so long.
Okay, tell me this. How long is the movie, approximately?
It's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Is there a post-credit scene?
I don't know. I doubt it.
What? You saw this twice? You didn't stay to see if there was a post-credit scene?
Dragon, it's not the kind of movie that would have a post-credit scene.
I know, I'm funning you. I'm kidding you. All right.
Okay, so we see Diane Lane, who has a bungalow that just overlooks the dock in which McConaughey docks his boat, right? So throughout the movie, she's constantly opening her window and looking out over McConaughey. And one of her lines, Dragon, because she associates McConaughey with her lost cat, which is literally a subplot in the movie. One of her lines is, "My poor pussy."
I'm sorry. Sorry, I mishear you on that.
Literally calls McConaughey her poor pussy
because she equates him with her long lost cat.
Yeah, it's not long lost. It's a cat that keeps running away is the subplot. But
so she associates him as a runaway, therefore the runaway cat is kind of the animal of choice.
Yes.
And that shorthand is McConaughey's unfortunate misnomer. Am I following that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So anyways, Jimon Hansu is like, "Hey boss, how you gonna pay me?" And McConaughey just quick cuts to him doing Diane Lane, man. Just all out there. McConaughey's showing more ass than Diane Lane is, which is going to be a reoccurring theme in this.
So he's going full Wiseau on this, pretty much.
Oh yeah, full Wiseau. Yes, definitely.
Okay, so let me just understand the editing here. Okay, so Glenn Hunt is asking how he's going to be paid after the failure of this kind of recent tourist trip after they Spider-Man 2 him like pizza style. Over like, we're not paying for this.
Hard cut to sex, Dragon. Hard cut to sex.
Okay, and Diane Lane's the neighbor, right?
Yes.
Okay, so hard cut to going down Diane Lane. Okay.
All right, and then we get the famous, like, "You're nothing but a hooker who can't afford hooks."
I see.
That's just like I love it. I fucking love it. Okay, so anyways, we get some exposition. Diane Lane. Diane Lane's character's name is Constance, by the way, so I'll refer to her as that. Constance is telling McConaughey about her son who's pumping gas in Miami, and McConaughey's like, "Yeah, I heard he's good around a boat. Tell him if he wants to quit his job pumping gas, I got a job for him." And then Dragon, if I was writing notes, then I'd write down like, "You're broke. It literally established that you can't afford gas. That's literally a line that Diane Lane says to him. How can you afford to take anyone else on? All right. Okay, Dragon, at this juncture, just because I think you're gonna find this really amusing, McConaughey's name in this movie is Baker Dill.
I'm sorry, Baker Dill?
Baker Dill.
Baker Dill.
Baker Dill.
As in Dill's his last name.
Yes.
Like the pickle.
Yes. But Dragon, it gets better. That's just a fake name he's using, and the fake name came from a teacher that he had that he really respected, and you'll never guess who the name of the teacher is.
Well, I'm assuming Mr. Dill.
Dylan Baker.
Oh my god. I
swear to God.
Oh my god.
I swear to God.
Well, wait, hold on. Let me understand this. Okay, just real quick. I'm feeling it's like a sign from the universe to pull the Spider-Man 2 reference earlier on. Okay, so let me get this straight. So this fake name is inspired by a teacher, by emphasis, a teacher that he respected a great deal.
Yes.
Whose full name was
Dylan Baker.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow, that's you can't make that up. Well, you could easily make that up, folks, but my God, it sounds like all right. Do you recognize who plays this Dylan Baker? Did they actually get Dylan Baker? Because that would be
no. I wish
that would be astonishing if they did.
No, Dylan Baker is brought up literally a grand total of 2 times in the whole movie.
Wow. Not only do we have Superman's mom, we also have the screwed over doctor from screwed over Dr. Connors from Spider-Man 2. Okay, anyway, keep going.
Okay, and then we also have we established the subplot with the lost cat. Basically she's just like, oh, my cat keeps running away from me. I like to keep my pussy in line. Literally a line. Literally.
Yeah, that hurts. It's like for a moment, when you brought up this whole cat thing, for a moment, just when you brought it back again, I was thinking, you know what? I was just thinking to myself, The Gifted has a much better cat plot in it, and it does. The movie of Chris Evans and God, I don't want to. I'm going to butcher the name. McKenna Grace. That's it. McKenna Grace, I think. Anyway, so the point is, I was thinking about the whole cat plot and everything. You bring it back to the whole. Oh yeah, they're making all these puns about cats and. It's like, oh God! Anyway, keep going. It's all bad.
All right, so then we get to the bar. Literally, the only bar on Plymouth Island is the name of the island. Dragon. That's important. Plymouth Island.
Plymouth Island.
Plymouth Island. So the bartender's basically saying to I'm just gonna call him Dill. He's saying to Dill, yeah, this tuna, it's a tuna that's in your head, and Dill is like, yeah, that's why I gotta get it out of there.
Wait, this is real dialogue.
This is real dialogue. Yeah.
This is how that conversation goes where he's saying he's still thinking about the tuna.
Yep.
All right, okay, so tuna on the brain. What
all right, and also this is one of the details I freaking love. The bartender is like, hey, me and the boys say that you should give the tuna a name. And McConaughey is just very stoically, very fucking seriously. He's like, I gave him a name. His name's Justice.
What? What? Hold. Okay, hold on a second. Just real quick. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm forgetting. I was processing the line for a moment here. Just wait a minute. Okay, so he already named the tuna. The tuna's name is Justice, right?
Yes.
The tuna that got away is apparently prolific tuna is named Justice.
I'm being completely serious with you.
He's chasing justice in the form of a tuna.
Yes, exactly.
He's equating Lady Justice, the pursuit of law and dignity in the world, as a tuna that basically faked him out and got away.
Pretty much.
The tuna's name. I'm sorry. Right now. Right now, I'm sort of like. Okay, this has to be a fake movie. Again, it's real. I know it's come out, so I know you're telling me about this. Okay, keep going. For a moment, I would think like, oh my god, Tiki, he's having some sort of deranged fever dream. I have to play along. But no,
Dragon,
seriously.
oh, you have no idea. You have no idea.
You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of the one time I thought I had a fever dream. I saw the finale of 2.5 Men. Remember, I told you this when we were talking about Gotham because I watched it. Like I stayed up late. I was rewatching Gotham and did the fish in the eye thing, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's so twisted. That can't possibly be real." And then after that, like then there's the 2.5 Men finale where it just looks like, "Oh my god, I'm hallucinating." Right? I've stayed because I stayed up really extra late that, and I was like, "Oh my god, I think I've stayed up too late." You know, they say sometimes you don't get enough sleep, you start to hallucinate. I think, oh my god, I think that might be happening to me right now. This can't possibly be happening.
Dragon, this is the tip of the iceberg, my friend. You've not heard anything yet. Trust me.
Okay, so this is your 2.5 Men. Keep going.
This is the tip of the iceberg, my friend.
So you mean a tuna called Justice is just the tip of the iceberg?
Yes, I am dead serious.
All right.
You don't know. You don't know.
Hey, we'll carve the ice sculpture, buddy. Keep going.
Okay. I also need to kind of like there's like a million subplots going on in this movie. Jimon Hansu has like a granddaughter in college that's why Jimon Hansu cares about money. That gets brought up like 2 or 3 times, but it's not really relevant to the plot at all.
It sounds like the movie we should be watching.
And so McConaughey fires Jimon Hansu randomly because he's like, you know what, Duke? Maybe it's luck. Maybe it's fucking luck, Duke. Ever since your wife died, we ain't caught shit.
Wait, so maybe it's luck that they're not getting anything?
Yes, and that's why McConaughey fires Jimon Hansu.
He says luck.
Yes. He says, maybe you're bringing bad luck, Duke. Ever since your wife died, we ain't caught shit.
Huh, all right.
Keep in mind, this is like the one and only time that Jimon Hansu's dead wife is brought up.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, then oh, and it's also worth noting that throughout the movie, Jeremy Strong plays like this wormy kind of like businessman guy in a suit and glasses who feels like he's in a different movie.
I'm sorry, who plays this guy?
Jeremy Strong.
Okay.
And basically throughout the movie, he's like trying to chase down Dill. And he's just like, Mr. Dill, right as McConaughey pulls off from his boat. And he's like, damn it, I'm off by like 20 seconds. And Dragon, this guy, I'm gonna put this guy on the sidelines for now, but this guy is pivotal to everything, all right?
Okay, so just real quick, so this guy, just give me the occupation, because I heard, like, you know, Jeremy Strong and all that, but, okay, so he's...
Let's call him the salesman.
Salesman. So he's. I mean, so his goal again in finding Dill? Do we know it yet, or is he just a guy in a suit right now?
No, we don't know anything about him except he's a guy in a suit who's trying to get a hold of McConaughey, but he keeps missing him.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. The movie's about to get more wild. So McConaughey lives out of a repurposed shipping container.
Really?
Because that's a thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess someone really liked Wall-E. Okay. All right.
So there's a scene where Constance comes over to look for McConaughey's cat, and they're just kind of having random dialogue, I think about the tuna or something. Here's where the movie starts to, like, this is like the most bonkers scene. Ready? So McConaughey strips butt-ass naked in the conversation.
Wait, who's he conversing with?
He's conversing with Diane Lane.
Okay, so he's stripping during this conversation about the...
He's stripping butt-ass naked. Just butt-ass naked.
Again, going full YSL, okay.
Yes. And then he just randomly walks out on Diane Lane, like, in the middle of the conversation. And she's like, where are you going? And McConaughey just looks at her all stoically, like, I'm going to take a shower. So then McConaughey, butt-ass naked.
We don't have to overemphasize the naked point. I get it.
Proceeds to run and jump off and dive off a cliff into the water below.
Okay, so he's living literally in a shipping container.
Yes, yes.
Wait, so how does that? Okay, so it's like on land, I presume, right? Well, I know it's, well, I mean, like it's like, is it on like a cliffside or something? Like where? So,
Yeah, it's on a cliffside, yeah.
and it's just a shipping container. Does it have like a bathroom in there at all?
Yeah, I think there's a bathroom in there, yeah.
Huh, well, it doesn't have a shower. That's, I guess that's.
It
I'm,
doesn't
I'm
it
just
does
trying to
not
piece
have a
together like
shower,
a.
Dragon. It
I'm
does
trying to piece
not.
together logic here. Okay, pity
All
me,
right,
folks.
well,
I'm trying
logic's
to.
about to be thrown out the fucking window, my friend.
Or the other end of the shipping container. It looks like.
Okay, so butt ass naked Matthew McConaughey, and like I said, Dragon, we when I say butt ass naked, I mean we see ass.
Okay,
Like
what's this movie rated? First off.
R.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, keep going.
I mean, we see fucking close up McConaughey ass, right? Like they are not shying away from it. And so McConaughey underwater, Dragon. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. His son also butt ass naked
Ah, now it's getting sick and wrong.
starts to fucking swim towards McConaughey. Like it's like McConaughey's like having a vision of his son or something. And Dragon, let's just say, like, I feel bad for any usher who walks into this movie at this particular point.
Why?
Because it's just McConaughey, like dude ass McConaughey, swimming towards this child with like a shitting grin on his.
Oh God.
It's so wrong, Dragon. It's so
Yeah,
wrong.
no, I'm getting it now because I was thinking like, why are the ushers walking? But yeah, if you just walked in, like, because sometimes
If
the
you
ushers
just
have to go
walked
in.
into that, you'd be like, "Oh my god, why are we screening this? Jesus Christ!"
Sometimes the ushers have to walk in if they change the trash or something in the back of it. Sometimes they walk in during these parts. So of course, oh God, it's basically he's like walking into like a Nirvana cover gone wrong, essentially. The dollar bill's in the middle, and just they're, oh God, it's just sick and wrong. Okay, so
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it, but you get the idea.
okay, essentially, it's just very ill framed, is what you're saying. It's ill framed and just looks out of context, looks really sick and wrong. But of course, the
Yes,
context is
yes, yes.
he knows this kid to be his son, or does he just like just random kid? Like, what is it?
No, he knows the kid to be his son, and he's like smiling and swimming towards him.
Again, out of context, us the audience, like, well, not us, you the audience for the first time, not see if the first time not seeing it like that.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We still know it's his son because remember we see the son in that opening scene.
Yeah, but you said we didn't know he was a son at the opening. You saw it was a kid. It was a random kid.
But then I'm sorry, but then we see there's so much shit going on in this movie, Dragon.
Okay, so the point is, McConaughey and his son kind of.
The point is we've seen the son before in the movie because we've seen some random flashbacks to him on the computer.
Gotcha.
And basically at this point we kind of, I don't know, I think the movie's, I don't remember if we know that it's the son or not. I think the movie kind of assumes that you figured it out.
Well, how old is this kid anyway?
He's like 13.
Oh man, that's just not right. Okay, so he's all right. So Nirvana cover gone wrong. Okay, so meanwhile.
Okay, so then McConaughey wakes up. He's like soaking wet. He's like leaning on his kitchen table in the shipping container. And this is where the film goes all fucking Shyamalan, all right? We're not to the twist yet, but we're kind of building up the twist. So we cut back from McConaughey, who's like soaking wet, but he's not naked yet. He's not naked anymore. He's just he's fully clothed, but his clothes are soaking wet, right?
Yes.
And he stares at this small puddle of water on the table. Meanwhile, it cuts back to the son in his computer room, and his son has spilled like a glass of water, and so McConaughey's son and McConaughey are like feeling these puddles of water on the table at the same time, and they have this kind of psychic link to each other.
So it is a psychic link.
Yeah, McConaughey's just like, son, is that you? Yeah. Trust me, Dragon, it's not going where you think it's going.
But he's speaking out loud saying, son, is that you?
Literally, yep.
As they're both simultaneously touching puddles of water and feeling an actual. So it's an actual psychic link. It's not just like artistic liberty.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Okay. Enter Anne Hathaway.
Ah.
And my God, does she have an over-the-top femme fatale entrance in this movie, Dragon?
Well, I do like me some Anne Hathaway, especially Anne Hathaway playing a femme fatale. So let's see how it goes.
Okay, so she first of all, she raises her wedding ring, and the wedding ring does this like over-the-top CGI like shimmer, like wee, really fucking bright reflection on the light. And then the camera does this really random thing that never happens again, where it kind of like bullet time Matrix style, like zooms from the side of Anne Hathaway to the front of Anne Hathaway. And it's like it's like the Wachowski brothers stepped in to direct that one shot. It's so out of place. Okay, so anyways, Anne Hathaway, long story short, she's, she brings McConaughey. McConaughey brings her to the boat, and she's his ex-wife, and she's like, "You were right. You were right. You were right about Frank. Frank's an abusive asshole. He's just getting more rich and more mean and more drunk."
Well, now you're just talking about Harley Quinn and Joker versus the Real World, which is an excellent show. People should watch episode 5 specifically.
Yes, Jason Clarke's character is named Frank Dragon.
Yes, but an abusive boyfriend. I'm sorry. Anyway, abusive husband even.
All right, so this is where we get the setup for the plot. McConaughey is offered $10 million in cash to, I want you to take him out on your boat and get him nice and drunk and feed him to the sharks.
Okay, so.
And it's worth noting that McConaughey and Anne Hathaway have absolutely zero chemistry with each other, and there's about a 20-year age gap between the two.
All right, so
that 20-year age gap is going to come. It's going to get really creepy at a certain point, Dragon. Let me tell you.
Well, when you say 20-year age gap, I mean, is it really visible? Don't just like give me like the logistics of like age-wise they are 20.
Visible. McConaughey looks like he's in his 40s. Hathaway looks like she's in her 20s.
Okay, well, to be fair, I mean the whole 20s Anne Hathaway thing. She can pull off 30 if she wanted to.
You don't know, man. It gets sick and wrong.
All right, well, okay.
You don't know. You don't know.
We'll see how that one goes. That might be like a visual thing. I'm sure like she's...
No, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
All right, fine. Okay, but let me get this straight otherwise. Okay, aside from this age thing here. Okay, so $10 million, right?
Yes.
So she offers her ex-husband, ex being the operative, offers her ex-husband to take her do we establish that he's an abusive? We establish he's an abusive drunk, right?
Yes.
Take her abusive drunk husband out in the boat per like his little promotion, like, hey, like fishing for basically kind of a little fishing expedition business that he's got going on. Get him drunk and shove him overboard to feed him to the sharks, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what she says. Like, feed him to the sharks. Get him drunk, feed him to the sharks.
Yep.
$10 million.
Yep.
Okay. I'll make sure we're all on the same page, folks. Okay.
All right. Okay, so the next day, I believe I think there's like a sex scene with Diane Lane in between here. And she's like, "Oh, what were you doing with that girl?" Like, Diane Lane's basically establishing like the femme fatale of it all. Like, that girl's dangerous still. I don't want to see my pussy getting into trouble.
Yes, I'm sorry. All that's, I mean, God, that's just bad. It's just really bad, man. I mean, I'll take all the ice puns over that. I gotta be honest. I'll take all the, at least the ice puns. They made sense, but I mean, I'm just like, those are bad puns, man. I've heard some bad puns in my day. That's a bad pun.
All right. Okay, so it's the next day, and Jason Clarke is just enter Jason Clarke, man. And basically, Jason Clarke knows that he's in a train wreck, and he is playing it the fuck up.
Oh god.
He's got this like Miami Vice look to him. He's got like a purple jacket and like a pink shirt that's like, like got only buttoned up like halfway.
Yep.
And oh my god, I mean, where to start with this guy?
Is he wearing sunglasses?
Yes.
Knew it. Okay.
All right, so first of all, Anne Hathaway calls him daddy countless.
I'm sorry, calls him daddy what?
Countless times.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. She's one of the. Oh, it's one of those things. Okay.
Countless daddies, man. Like, Anne Hathaway saying "daddy" in this movie should be a drinking game.
Like out of fear or out of just habit?
No, out of fear.
Okay, at least that's a little better, I guess.
But it's still really creepy and off-putting.
Well, that's true. So I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just saying. Well, I mean, compared to her like making the conscious choice, like just to be really obnoxiously, oh, well, you gotta call him daddy. It's just not. Versus like she calling him daddy because at least there's a logic to it.
So basically, Jason Clarke is being a huge ass right off the bat, and he's just like, "Oh, any man has a price." Like McConaughey at first, like, just doesn't want to do it. He's like, like, I don't have a first mate. By law, I can't take you out without a first mate. And Jason Clarke is basically like, "What are you, a pussy?"
Well, according to Diane Lane, yes, actually. I mean, she keeps calling me that, so I don't know. I don't know. She's respectable. She's been, a lot of good stuff. I don't know, maybe.
All right. So basically, McConaughey refuses, and Jason Clarke is like, "Every man has his price. Meet me on the dock at 7 a.m. tomorrow, or you'll regret it." So, What?
Sorry. Okay, wait. So Jason Clarke. Jason Clarke just issued this threat just now, like, or you're gonna regret
it. Pretty much, yeah.
He issues a threat and asking him. So okay. Let me get this straight. So are we implying like she gave him the great idea, like, hey, why don't you go fishing, or did he on his own want to go fishing?
No. The whole thing is like she set it up as like a dream vacation for him, right? And she's just like, "I want you to catch me a big fish, Daddy."
Oh god. Okay, so she's baited him very literally here.
Yeah.
Well, her big plan she's baiting him to be bait essentially, which is kind of funny. But anyway, so she's kind of baited him into this situation, and now the guy's just like, but kind of is gonna in some ways trying to save him. You're like, I can't really do it legally anyways. Clark's just going like, you better do it, or you're gonna regret it. It's like every 80s bully ever. Oh god. Okay, man. Anyway, I'm sorry, just ridiculous. Keep going. Keep going.
All right, so the next day, Jimon Hansu runs up to McConaughey and he's like, "This guy is offering you $10,000. Like, you can take 8,000. I'll take 2,000. You just don't let an opportunity like this slip you by, Dill." And Dill's like, all right. I mean, he doesn't literally say all right, but basically it's like, yeah, it's kind of just like a shrug, like, yeah, okay.
What is this? Is it like a smash cut to that conversation because he needs to have a first mate, or is it just like he's filled in on the whole? Yeah, it's like my ex-wife wants me to turn into shark food. Yeah.
There's some stuff that goes on between the two conversations. I'm pretty sure McConaughey visits the bait shop where not much of anything of substance happens, except that the owner of the bait shop mentions that some weird skinny guy has been looking for McConaughey, and that's the Jeremy Strong character.
Right. But does Hansu know like what the whole extent of the thing, or is he just interested in the money? Like, how is it? My point is, like, how is he
at this point he's just interested in the money, but he kind of starts to piece it together as the movie goes on.
Basically, McConaughey's desperate for a first mate, so he's going to a guy he just fired.
No, Hansu is going to McConaughey because...
That's the thing. I'm just trying to
because
piece together like how he knows about this. Like, why would McConaughey go to him? Like, so
you know
basically,
what?
Hansu.
I'm just now realizing that too. I guess Hansu was just kind of hanging around the docks and just happened to be like, "Hey, rich asshole, what are you doing on my ex-employer's boat?"
Gotcha. Okay.
That's literally they have no explanation for how Hansu like comes across it.
All right.
So
Okay. So the point is, he's filling in Hansu about what's going on.
yeah. Okay, so then we go to the fishing. And Dragon, this is where we get another infamous scene that I've already told you about. Like basically, God, I'm sorry. Basically, Jason Clarke is just going out of his way. He's like, "Hey, so what do you guys do for girls around here?" Um, and they're both just kind of like making small talk. Like McConaughey's just like, "I don't know, it's a small island, man," and
Oh
then
yeah, this is the other. Okay, this is the last thing that I knew about from the movie. Tiki told me about this part. Okay, go on.
yeah. And then Jimon Hansu's like, not much. And then Jason Clarke, of course, is like, what are you, a faggot? And then he goes up to Matthew McConaughey and he's like, hey, I heard there's a place uptown where young little girls like to take it up the ass for $10 a pop.
Okay, that part I did not know
about that, McConaughey. And this clearly makes McConaughey and Hansu uncomfortable. They're just like, no, I would not know anything about that. All right, so McConaughey kind of baits Jason Clarke into talking about his son. And so McConaughey just kind of goes on this tear like, yeah, my stepson's a little fucking freak. All he does is stay in his computer room and play video games all day. It's fucking sick.
I'm sorry, who's going off on him?
Jason Clarke.
Okay.
And and Jason Clarke's just like, I try. I'm like, hey, let's throw the football around. Let's be men. But this little pussy doesn't want to throw the football around. And I'm like, why play that stupid fishing video game all day? And the son's like, if I wasn't playing the fishing video game all day, I'd be thinking of ways to kill you. Little freak. All right, so basically, yeah.
Like the son, like flat out told me, I'm thinking of ways how to kill you.
The son flat out tells him, like, if I wasn't on my computer playing video games all day, I'd be thinking of ways to kill you.
No, I can't give the movie points for subtlety. I know that much.
Oh no, God no, not at all. All right. So basically, the whole point is like this whole movie, this whole scene. McConaughey is just like, I really hate this fucker, but I can't kill him out of moral obligation for some, even though he clearly is a piece of shit who deserves to die.
Who is he saying this to?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's not an actual line, Dragon. It's just kind of implied, like, oh, McConaughey's like, he's got a moral dilemma on his hands.
I gotcha. Bonus, he's conflicted. Either way, it's still okay. So basically, we're setting up this guy. You the audience, would hopefully come out like push him overboard. Who's gonna care?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
even the fishies.
This guy has not one redeeming moment. Like every single word out of his mouth is just garbage.
Yeah, like where's Dexter Morgan's boat when you need it?
All right, so let's see. They arrive back at the dock, and Hathaway's waiting for them. She's very disappointed that Jason Clarke is still alive, and
as we all are.
And yeah, and she's basically telling Jason Clarke is like, pay the man, honey. Watch his eyes bulge out of his head.
What? Oh God.
All right. So, anyways, that's her chance to be alone with McConaughey, and she's like, it's your fucking son that's wanting me to do this. This was his idea. And it also Jason Clarke is just like, Yeah, I need to take these two pussies out on the ocean tomorrow. Show them how it's really done. Give them an education.
Wife and the son, basically Anne Hathaway and the son character he's referring to.
No, he's referring to like he's gonna go back out on the boat tomorrow with McConaughey and Hansu.
Oh, right. So this guy's just completely ungracious. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's like one of those guys. Like he's going to throw his money around. He controls the world. What do we know what this guy does for a living? Do we know anything about?
No,
him?
he's just they vaguely talk about like construction sites.
Gotcha. It might be like into like brokering land or something. I don't know. It might be into something.
I mean, he's obviously wealthy.
That's the thing. I'm just kind of wondering, like, how can I mean, I know wealthy people are jerks, but I mean, sometimes it's like a guy this loud mouth. I mean, what kind of profession could this guy be in? He was on PC executive in construction. If he's like upper level management construction, I guess I could buy it. I guess. Okay, but the point is like, I want to do it again. Give him money. Show him we can do anything. Okay. Getting drunk looking for 13-year-old girls. Woo! Gotcha.
Basically.
Let's violate some teenagers. Yeah.
I'm going to grab some of that $10 ass.
Statutory. In a statutory. Okay. Okay, so this guy is just the most awful human being ever. Okay, keep it going.
Yeah,
So again,
exactly.
yeah, folks, we're echoing what I'm just echoing what I'm hearing from this guy here.
Dragon, you're on the edge of the twist, my friend. You are literally like, you don't know it, but you are staring down into the abyss at this very moment, okay? The movie is, I've got like a couple more scenes, and then the movie is going to take a dramatic left turn into what the fuck.
Yeah, let me take a wrong guess. All right, so he was the 13-year-old girl the whole time.
Oh, God. All right, no.
That's a wrong guess, folks. At least I told you it was a wrong guess. Anyway, keep going.
Okay, so, oh, man. Oh, God. All right, here's where the creepy part with McConaughey and Anne Hathaway comes into play.
We had a guy talking about all sorts of sick and wrong things about poor teenage girls looking for him on the island. Now it's going to get sick and wrong.
Yes.
All right, tell me and the folks, what is it?
All right, so Anne Hathaway comes to visit McConaughey on his boat, and she's just like, once again, she's trying to convince him to do it. Like, tomorrow you have to do it for me, for Patrick. It's the name of McConaughey's son.
I see.
And then she gets all seductive with him, right? And she's like, remember that night on the bridge? I was only 16 years old. And it was my first time.
Ugh, sorry, I'm just getting a little sick right now. Ugh.
You can see how this is problematic?
Well, I'm saying when you put it like that, I'm thinking like a few years ago. The movie
puts it like that.
No, I'm sorry, what?
The movie puts it like that. It's supposed to be like a sexy, seductive scene.
Ugh, yeah, because I mean, what I had in my mind when you said this age difference again, I was just thinking like, okay, so maybe like a few years ago, like however old the kid is, like wait a minute, no, I wouldn't.
Okay, so think about it. It's so gross. McConaughey's in his 40s. She's in her 20s. McConaughey broke her virginity at 16. Do the goddamn math.
All right. Yeah, that's
so gross.
Ugh.
Worse because A, they have absolutely zero chemistry with each other, and B, like, it's played off as like this really sexy, seductive, tender moment. She's just like, if we could go back to that bridge, would you? And then McConaughey just grabs her and starts making out with her, and they fuck.
Ugh. Well, okay, for the record, I just want to establish this. I want to make this doesn't take away the sick and wrong quality, because again, the way this is structured is completely sick and wrong, and especially they're not doing themselves any favors. However, I did look into one thing, not about this movie. I want to make it clear, not about this movie. Anne Hathaway, 36 years old.
Ah, okay. Well,
I'm just saying, basically what they're not doing themselves any favors, but just like in premise of like McConaughey and especially given the whole
I'm pretty sure
Interstellar.
McConaughey is close to 50 though, so
I mean, that's the thing. So I'm not saying I'm not saying it's a huge fix, but I'm saying, in real life, just again, when they have a scene like that, then when you think about it, yeah, that's not right. Creepy scene, and again, then just like,
mention that she was 16.
yeah, that's the thing. That in itself, they specifically that in itself makes it
It's
sick.
like all they could have, all the only, they could have just not mentioned that she was 16, still mentioned the fact that it was her first time, whatever. It's still a little gross, but
No,
whatever.
that's the thing, though. T absolutely in itself, just the whole 16 thing makes it sick and wrong instantly, no matter any way you slice. I want to make that clear. The only thing that was they kept bugging me because it kept saying she's in her 20s. I know for a fact she's not in her 20s, but I knew she's like somewhere in the 30s, but I didn't want to say without knowing. So 36. So just in premise that, but every which way you slice it, though, with this scene that you've just described to me, yeah, that is, oh god, that's horrifying.
All right.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page now. Okay, so very, very twisted writing on this movie. Okay.
Are you ready for the twist, Dragon?
That's not the twist!
No.
Oh, God. I'm a little afraid, but go on.
Okay, so McConaughey, he shows up in his shipping container of a house, and fucking Jeremy Strong, the wormy salesman guy, is there. And he's like, I've been trying to get a hold of... It's like pouring down rain, right? And he's like, I've been trying to get a hold of you all week, Mr. Dill. I keep missing you. You're always on the ocean. Can we talk?
Like Joe Flaherty, but less interesting.
McConaughey's just like, it's 2:30 in the morning. Like I said, I keep missing you. This electrical storm is my opportunity. All right. Okay, so enter Reed Miller. Holy shit, this guy. So this guy is basically a representative of a bait company, right? Like a big corporate bait company.
Oh, so he's going to find some hooks now.
Yes.
That's nice.
All right, so he basically has a fish finder, like a sonar fish finder.
Okay.
And he's wanting to give it to McConaughey. And he's like, and throughout this whole conversation, A, McConaughey is getting him drunk, and B, he keeps implying that he knows more than he should, right? He's like, I know more than you think, Mr. Dill. I know what's gonna happen tomorrow. And finally, McConaughey just gets fed up. He takes a knife to this guy's throat, and he's like, "What the fuck do you know about tomorrow?" And then say it, tell me, or you won't live to see tomorrow. And then the guy, okay, here we go, Dragon. I'm not even gonna try and quote it word for word because it just gets nutty and batshit, and they throw in so much fucking scientific jargon into this whole thing. All right, I'm just gonna lay it out to you. Are you ready?
No, but go on.
Okay, the whole thing is a video game.
You might have to maybe kind of break that one down a little bit. So the bait.
Okay, Plymouth Island, and Matthew McConaughey's character, and all the characters that interact with McConaughey, and everything that we've seen is a video game.
Huh.
McConaughey has been dead for 10 years.
Okay, hold. Okay, now you give me two different things right there. Okay, so wait, so is he dead or is he playing a video game?
He's dead. McConaughey. Okay, the son programmed the video game.
Ah.
And the video game is the fishing game that his son has been playing the whole time.
Huh. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just processing this right now. Okay, so dead of night, salesman guy rolls up, tells him about this bait shop, and basically, a baker here, Mr. Baker, otherwise known as Mr. Dill, this guy, he basically, this guy's starting to say stuff that, again, for dialogue reasons, let's not get into it because it sounds like this dialogue wouldn't make sense even if it were being quoted word for word in every context. But the fact of the matter is, it just sounds like, okay, he's saying something that sounds off to him. It's like, what are you saying? What do you mean? How do you know these things? How do you know these things? And he pulls a knife on him, and then basically, how does the game reveal even come about?
Because it's revealed that this guy, the Jeremy Strong character, you're gonna love this, is literally the physical manifestation of the rules.
He's like programming code almost.
He
like,
literally doesn't have a name. He's just the rules.
He's like the helpful handshake guy from Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, pretty much.
Pretty much. And Dragon, I'm glad you mentioned Welcome to the Jungle, because from this point forward, the movie turns into Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, except played completely straight.
Now, just for the record, because you and I never really talked about this on air, I don't think, but just for the record, yeah, as much as the marketing kind of made me maybe just not buy into Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I did really enjoy that movie, by the way. Again, I don't really think it needed to be Jumanji, but it was a great movie. I mean, I thought it was enjoyable. It was a really fun movie.
Oh, I get it. I have a weakness for cakes, like I can't resist cakes, like they're irresistible.
Honestly, I really did enjoy that movie. By the way, that was a fun movie. Again, I think you're.
I did too, man. It was one of Jack Black's best performances ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, everything really worked in that. It was a lot of fun. Maybe a little bumpy at the very start with the high school stuff, but again, once they end the game, everything was a blast. It was all delightful and such. But anyway, the point is, again, I can see this. Again, that premise in itself could work, but again, basically having a twist like this. Like, how far in the movie is this roughly? Like
it's about an hour into an hour and 45-minute movie, so it's roughly a little over halfway through.
Oh God. Okay, so he finds out he's okay. So basically, I'm sorry, T. Here's the. I don't mean to keep stopping the thing here, but okay. So you were telling me this guy's
it's fine, Dragon. I fully expected this.
Okay, so this guy's programming code. I get that, but how is McConaughey? How does this come? How do you find that thing out? How do you sell video game?
McConaughey is literally threatening this guy with a knife, so this guy is literally laying out in dialogue like, "This is a world created of zeros and ones, and the son's favorite game used to be Catch the Tuna, but now he's been messing with the code, and now it seems that the new objective to the game is to kill a man."
Okay, that's why.
It's played completely straight, Dragon. It's just suddenly the episode turns into like fucking D-grade Black Mirror.
All right, so, and I think the irony is like I saw that episode of Black Mirror. I saw the big Star Trekian parody one that everybody everyone was having all the buzz about. So I'm definitely familiar with what they're kind of aiming for with this one. I think. All right, so, oh God.
I mean, I'm not Dragon. It is such a 180 turn that just comes right the fuck out of nowhere and is played completely straight.
A few things decompressed there. One, they kind of did our triangles gag. The whole one, your world's made of ones and zeros. Bring me the triangles. Bring me the data, freaking data, man. Okay, let's see. Okay, so. Now, if I were in the theater right now and that bomb would have been dropped on me, my instant reaction, I guess you can infer what this. My instant reaction would be piecing together what that would be. Okay, so the game that the son's been playing, this whole like murder situation, is basically the kid in real life wanting to kill his stepfather, I guess. And basically this playing out with
the whole line about like, if I wasn't playing this game, I'd be thinking of ways to kill you.
Exactly. Therefore, he's living out the fantasy of the father, and this explains why the father, McConaughey, why Dill was so obsessed, oddly and so out of left fieldly obsessed with the tuna, catching the tuna game.
Yes, because it was literally a game within this, I guess, open world game called Catch the Tuna.
Well, Tiki, as bizarre as it sounds, now the movie's starting to make sense. I mean, this is logic I can track at least. I mean, the rest of this is kind of like. Here's the weird thing: it's kind of retroactively making the earlier stuff. Again, it doesn't fix it, but it's like making. At least I get it now. Why it's so bonkers and bananas and stupid. A kid.
And it makes sense why all the characters that McConaughey runs into are so one-dimensional, because they're literally just NCPs.
Yeah, well, Tiki, I'm kind of just kind of gobsmacked a little right now because, like, oh my God, it's kind of retroactively rewriting itself, making a little bit more sense. Oh, okay, keep going. I'm on the hook. Keep going. No pun intended. Keep going.
All right. Oh my God.
And he's dead because he's a construct of what the father was. Hence the whole thing.
Yes,
Now,
yes, yes,
see, now I've
exactly.
put together the riddle. Okay, this is how can a man be dead yet be in a video game reality? The answer: he is part of the video game.
So, Dragon, you understand that now we have like 45 minutes left to go in this movie, and literally none of what we're seeing is real.
Pretty much.
Like, McConaughey's character literally does not exist.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man. All right. So basically Act 3, we get into Act 3 and McConaughey just starts to have an existential crisis, Dragon, and it's fucking
As
hilarious.
you would. I mean, I don't know about you, Tiki, but again, if this bomb would dropped on, it's like, oh my God, what? You mean none of it was tuna? Wasn't even real?
Oh, also, there's a big like Shyamalan style reveal that I love because it's played so straight, but it's so cheesy. Where McConaughey like lays out this big map that like fills up his entire table, and the big reveal is that you see like this little tiny Plymouth Island, and then the rest of the map is just water.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, where to
All right,
go?
so Makane's having an existential crisis about finding this video game character and looking at the map like, oh my God, it's true. It's all true. I'm
Yes, yes.
ones and zeros. I'm triangles, man. I'm freaking 8-bit pixels. Why, God? Why?
Dragon, that's you joke, but that's literally how it goes. Like McConaughey is literally like there are several moments where McConaughey literally just stares up into the sky and starts to scream.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, okay. Just going around just like screaming like, it's a lie. So it's all just basically to me, dude, this sounds like the banana Shyamalanian version, like that I never would want to see of Perchance the Dream. It's kind of like what if you mix Perchance the Dream in concept with basically you mix Perchance the Dream, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and just for good measure, just for good kind of like dark measure, a little bit of that Black Mirror episode, like season 4, episode 1 of Black Mirror, I think, the Star Trek parody. Like mix those
Oh,
three elements together, and throw a little bit of McConaughey in there for like kind of some salt and pepper, if you will, and release it in theaters, and give it a Joss Whedon toast, kind of put some extra shine on it, and then basically you have this movie. But
basically.
but it's all pretty terrible so far.
All right. Oh my god. So there's so many bad Dragon. The last act of this movie is so batshit. It is so batshit. All right.
Right.
So let's see. So first of all, Matthew McConaughey is just having this existential crisis. He's like driving around in a sugarcane field. Oh, and I forgot to mention throughout the movie we have this radio station that suddenly becomes sentient, and it's like, hey, this is going out to Baker Dill. Catch that fucking fish, Baker.
That sounds kind of funny, I gotta admit. Catch that fish, Baker. You can do it. Yeah.
All right. And Dragon, this is the thing. Like literally from this point forward, like the general layout for Act 3 is all the MCPs are like trying to do things to make Matthew McConaughey focus on the fish and not murder Frank. Basically because they want the game to stay the way it is.
Huh.
So the woman at the bait shop is like trying to give him a bunch of new lures that just came in from the same company that Jeremy Strong works for. Um, let's see. McConaughey has this hilarious conversation with the bartender, and he's like, "How many years have I been on this island, Jack?" and the bartender is just like, you know, Dill, sometimes it starts to feel like we've always been here.
Basically, it's kind of the "Are you sick?" question from Unbreakable, but just again completely crazy.
Pretty much, pretty much.
How many sick days are you taking?
All right, so oh, let's see. All right, so Jimon Hansu, he meets McConaughey at McConaughey's boat, and he says that he paid his $2,000 to a group of hitmen to break. Oh God, it's so ridiculous, Dragon. It's so fucking silly. Oh man. Oh Jesus Christ.
Okay, so he's
He
paid the $10,000 to the hitmen to.
So he paid the $2,000 that was his share to a hitman to fucking break Jason Clarke's hand.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Hansu uses his share of the 10,000, like, being the first mate and everything. Goes to the hitman. How does he? First of all, how does he know hitman? But second of all,
I don't fucking know, Dragon. I don't.
That's it. The question is, why are there hitmen?
Okay, you know what's even more weird about that is that it's established that Demon Hansu is like some sort of clergyman, like he hangs out at a church.
Why is there religion in this video?
I don't know how he got a hold of this hitman.
Why is there religion in this video game? That's my real question. But,
okay, you know what my question about the video game is? How, like, why is there a hooker mini game?
why is there what?
Why is there a hooker mini game?
Well, it involves bait, Tiki. That's why.
Oh God.
Okay, no, in all seriousness, I mean, Tiki, look, if you really okay, just for a minute, let's take a minute here. Let's take a minute stake here, if you will. Let's sit down for a minute stake here. Okay, so Tiki, if you want to trail back and track the logic after this revelation, you have to think so the kid's like 13 in real life, right? I mean, the kid is programmed off with a 13-year-old kid. He's programming these scenarios, these mini games, with hookers and and Diane Lane, these sexy situations and these revelations that apparently, I'm presuming that Anne Hathaway's modeled after his actual mother. I'm presuming. And writing and coming up with all these situations, like the whole eerie 16-year-old thing, and of course, let's not forget that one of the creepiest things that being skinny dipping with his father, and having these inserts of his father smiling at him very creepily. All of this, the kid has serious therapy issues.
Oh yeah.
I think the question lowest on the ring.
Diane Lane literally calling McConaughey "my poor sweet pussy."
That's the thing, Tiki. When you really look at it in context, I think the hooker thing's like it's on there. Don't get me wrong, it's on the list, but I think it's maybe like 5th on the list, maybe 6th. I don't know. It's like there are a lot more other ethically troubling questions to kind of hoist up there on the list. So again, I think we finished our minute stake. Let's get back to the meal.
All right. Okay, so we cut to Jason Clarke, and here's the thing I don't understand, Dragon. Jimon Hansu hires these goons to pick up Jason Clarke, but they only broke one of his hands.
Which hand?
I don't know, probably the right one.
I would hope the right one, otherwise he should get his money back. Okay, I'm sorry. I rarely would ever get a chance to make that joke again. Keep going.
All right, but point being, Jimon Hansu is like, I guided you away from temptation, Dill. Now you can go and seek and catch that fish.
Why didn't he just break the hand himself? Save himself $2,000. That's what I'm wondering. Why even break the hand? Why not kill the guy?
And Jason Clarke is just like, he's like going off on on Anne Hathaway, like, don't worry, honey, I fucked those fuckers up. They didn't want to mess with me.
Is he lying?
I don't know. We never actually see him interact with the hitman.
Okay, so they break his hand. The hitmen break his hand, right?
Yes.
And then so what's the message attached to it again?
The message attached to it is that because he's got a broken hand, he presumably cannot go out on the boat. I'm not kidding you. That's why the hand breaking happens. It's like, well, if he's got a broken hand, then he can't hold a fishing rod.
They stopped at the. They stopped at the one hand.
Yep. They stopped at the one hand. Yep.
And all of this again, just tell him he can't come on the boat. What?
Pretty much.
Just tether it away from the dock. Do something. Or Tiki, here's the better idea. Okay, you ready for this? Revolutionary idea. I don't know. Break the leg, maybe both. Kneecap him. I don't know. Maybe give him the ending of the 13 Reasons Why Season 2 treatment for all that icky stuff you said about teenage girls earlier on. I don't know. This guy's a scumbag, but then again, it's a video game by a very vindictive 13-year-old boy. I don't know. Could happen. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm a little lost at this point here, but no, I'm tracking what you're saying. I'm just saying I'm a little lost and kind of like we're just like the logic train's just derailed and kind of gone the commuter third act route right now.
Oh yeah,
right now. Okay.
So then Anne Hathaway is just like, but Daddy, I'm so heartbroken because I put all that time into. I don't get to see my daddy catch a big bad fish. Now my dreams aren't gonna come true. Real dialogue. And Jason Clarke's just like, oh, honey, I love you. All right,
okay, let me ask you this real quick, because I'm just wondering if this is you doing the voice or if this does he actually, is Jason Clarke actually sounding like Pete from Goofy movie right now, or is it
pretty much? I'm not.
I just wondering if that's how he's playing. It's like, God, all right, keep going. So like, oh no, I still love you, honey. Okay.
All right, so then we Matthew McConaughey is in a field and he's having an existential crisis, and randomly this redheaded kid walks up to him and he's like, hey, Mr. Dill, remember me? It's Samson, Constance's kid. Said you had a job waiting for me, so I quit my job pumping gas, and now here I am. Good luck, Mr. Dill. I'm here to bring you good luck.
Tiki, I think the smart way, you tell me if this happens, the smart way how this scene should go is, this is when you do an Oscar, like Sylvester Stallone, an Oscar move right here. This is when you have just, is he in his truck right now, or is he just in the field alone?
He just got out of his truck.
Regardless, just have him like kind of look up for a beat and just like the kid's like, how old is this kid again?
Like in his early to mid 20s.
All right, fine. So again, the kid just randomly finds him and all this stuff, and he just like kind of just like looked to camera like Stallone did when he got slapped, and he's just, I made the choice to be in this movie. Look, where he just gives a look of like, yeah, this kid's literally coming out of nowhere. A little plot device we had all the way in Act 1, down the dumps, bringing it back. And I really don't know what I was thinking. I think I had a little too much to drink, and my agent, I need a new agent.
Dragon, I'm fully convinced that the way that this movie was pitched to McConaughey is like, hey, you get to hang out in an island in the Bahamas and drink some rum and smoke some weed and eat some good food for a couple weeks. And McConaughey is just like, hell yeah.
All right. What else I got? I got to scream a little. Okay. All right. I got to scream. All right. Okay. What? Okay, well, there's another thing though. It's like did you see the movie Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle? Yeah, I did. Like it. I thought it was all right, all right, all right. It's like, well, it's kind of like that. I mean, if you look in the third, do you want to read it? Nah, it's cool, man. It's think cool.
And Dragon, I'm convinced that everyone else, especially Jason Clarke and Anne Hathaway, signed up because, like, ooh, Matthew McConaughey. You want to read the script? No, I'm good. It's Matthew McConaughey.
Where's Anne Hathaway being all polite? Says, "Oh yeah, I worked with him on a movie. He was delightful. I'm going to do that again."
And Jason Clarke's like, well, it can't get any worse than Winchester.
Yep. Oh god.
Okay, so then McConaughey and the Rules. That's literally the name of his character is the Rules.
I mean, what happened with the good luck kid? So I elaborate like what I thought should happen. So what does the kid actually says? I'm here bringing good luck. What happens? So then the lawyer.
McConaughey's just like, I don't have any work for you right now, Samson. Go home. And Samson's just like, but Mr. Dill, please. And McConaughey just drives off and leaves him in the middle of the field.
Well, I guess that's the deal.
How Samson got into the middle of the field. He just randomly walks up on McConaughey with a backpack. He'll be back, though. He'll be back.
Oh, God.
That's not the last of Samson in this movie.
Confound you, Samson. Confound it all.
So McConaughey and the Rules are having a conversation, and the rules basically just lay out like, hey, Anne Hathaway just convinced Frank to go on the fishing boat after all. So if you really want to do this, then now's your chance. You better get over there. And then we have this really artistic, like this really pretentious symbolism thing where McConaughey and the Rules are drinking a bottle of rum, and the Rules throws the bottle of rum into the ocean. And then McConaughey's like, well, I guess I got to do it. I guess a man's got to do. And then he looks up and the Rules aren't there anymore. Instead, it's just the bottle of rum washed back up on the beach.
Huh. You gotta be honest, Tiki, you know me, Tiki, I'm one I can connect dots pretty well. I mean, I don't want to boast, but, I can connect dots pretty well. You gotta be honest, Tiki, for a while it's really been like this, but I gotta tell you, I got nothing. I got nothing to really connect that with. Like rum washing back up on the beach. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. I just got nothing. I mean, let me give it a shot. Let me see if there's anything in the tank on this. Okay, just give me a second. All right. Okay. Okay. Wait, I got it. Okay, so if alcoholism is the bad guy. Wait, okay, so there's throwing caution to the wind, therefore throwing bottle to the wind. He accepts his place. So is he accepting the path of killing the guy, or accepting the path of going back to fishing?
He's accepting the path of killing the guy.
All right, so I guess he's going to need a stiff drink so he can do the job right. Therefore, the bottle comes back to him instead of him throwing caution. Okay, I got it. Tiki, never mind. I'm not for a loss. I got it.
Oh, God.
Okay, here's the symbolism. He was throwing caution to the wind, contemplating existence, drinking with this figure of like your existence doesn't matter. Chucks the bottle. He accepts his lot. Therefore, he's getting back in the programming. The figure of like your world is not real. He accepts his world's real, or at least accepts it's real in the fact that he's got to do something within this world again. He's going to need a stiff drink to get the room to kind of drink the days away. And therefore, just kind of accepting it. Accepting it. The hard swallow of it all. Therefore, the bottle comes back. Therefore, it's like accepting drinking alone. You're drinking alone without that reminder over your shoulder. So, boom. Okay.
I'm impressed, Dragon. I'm impressed.
All right. Okay. So he's gonna kill a guy with sharks. Let's see how this goes.
All right. So he arrives on the dock. He kind of like he unceremoniously just shoos away Jimon Hansu which is like the last time we see Jimon Hansu. He's like, no, Duke, I gotta do this alone.
You just broke his hand. You're useless. Get out of my sight. Out of here. Go.
Pretty much. Hansu is just like after McConaughey pulls off with Jason Clarke, and Anne Hathaway's on the boat too, helping Jason Clarke, because Jason Clarke at this point is like literally like pumped up with painkillers. He's been drinking since like 10 in the morning. You know, he's a mess, Dragon. This dude is a fucking mess. Like, he's barely coherent. He's like, yeah, take me on your fucking boat. I'm a man. All right, so as the boat's pulling away, Jimon Hansu gets one last line in the movie, which is like, Lord, he's a good man, but he's about to do something wicked, but for good reasons. Please have mercy on him, Lord. Oh, great almighty video game Lord that's randomly programmed into this video game. All right. Okay, so they're on the boat, Dragon. They're on the fucking boat. And McConaughey is like getting Jason Clarke nice and drunk, right? Like Anne Hathaway has this flask of rum that she's just feeding him. She's just like, oh, here, Daddy. Drink some more rum, Daddy.
Oh, God.
And Jason Clarke is just like, yeah, fuck yeah, it's a party.
Well, I think we know why she's saying daddy so much. It's one of two things. Either A, just a horrifying reminder of reality just compounded upon within a running gag, or B, it's basically saying, you know, you're not really my daddy, therefore, basically the epitome of daddy issues in video games.
Oh, God.
One of those two, you know, dealer's choice. Anyway, so you can just basically kind of basically booze feeding this guy, like, come on, drink up, daddy, that sort of thing.
Right, so Jason Clarke is like really drunk and stumbling. He's right on the edge of the boat. Matthew McConaughey is throwing chum into the water to bloody up the water. And Jason Clarke's literally just like, yeah, come on, let's bait up this bitch. We need to attract the sharks. And then McConaughey's just like, I thought you were catching tuna. Yeah, fuck yeah, we're catching tuna. All right. So basically, Dragon, McConaughey and Hathaway have Jason Clarke right where they want him, right? He's like leaning right over the side of the boat. He's drunk. He's stumbling. He's about to fall over. And then out of the boat, bursting out of the door with a lovable, doofy smile on his face is everyone's favorite, Samson.
Oh, God.
Dragon, I'll give it credit where credit's due. This is the one moment in the movie that I'm pretty sure is intended to be funny, and it is funny.
So Samson, all happy-go-lucky, basically the Jimmy Olsen to this Dill character.
Samson's just like, hey, Mr. Dill, I'm here.
I'm here.
You know, Mr. Dill, I just thought you could use an extra hand, you know? So I stowed away. Oh, God. And so McConaughey is just like talking with Anne Hathaway, and Anne Hathaway is like, we can pay him off to not say anything. And McConaughey's like, no. I don't want to do that to the kid. I have a better idea.
I'm going to guess what that is. We throw him overboard, too.
No, that's not it.
It'd be hilarious if it was. You got to admit.
But Mr. Dill, I'm good luck. Sorry, Samson, I don't want to do this, but your idiocy left me no choice. But Mr. Dill.
Samson, right. You know how the parallel goes. Your strength will carry on. Now go overboard. So,
Dragon, basically what happens is that Justice, the giant tuna,
oh my God,
gets, bites onto the fishing rod, right?
Yeah.
And then as we're seeing this, it cuts back to McConaughey's son. And this is something that's been going on throughout the whole movie, is that McConaughey's son is like in the room with the computer, and he pulls out a knife, right? He pulls out a knife, and he leaves. And he leaves the room that we've seen him in the whole movie, and he's going to take action, God damn it. And as he's taking action, the McConaughey has the fishing pole, and he's trying to reel in justice, Dragon. He's literally trying to get justice. And Jason Clarke is just like, hey, give me the fucking rod.
Oh.
And McConaughey is just like, Samson, did you hear that? Our paying customer has requested that I give him the fishing pole. So you see where this is going.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Mr. Dill, I got you. All right. So they give McConaughey puts the fishing pole in Jason Clarke's hand, like his one good hand, because for some reason Hitman didn't stop, only broke one hand. And he's just like, you know, Frank, sometimes you just gotta let go. And I'm letting you go. And then McConaughey lets him go, and Frank literally goes flying off the boat. And we don't see him get attacked by sharks or anything, Dragon. We literally just see him fall into a watery abyss and sink like a fucking rock. And it makes no sense.
Okay, wait. Let me get the. I just want to get the cartoon physics of this real quick. Okay, so he gives him the fish. He gives him the fishing rod, which of course is being pulled on by Justice. Correct.
Yes.
And basically, when he says he's letting them go, does it mean just like he's not helping them, which means that the idiot or drunk stumblebum just by his own idiocy got pulled in by the raging Justice. That is yes. Basically. So he didn't even push him in. Basically, again, he just let.
No. He doesn't push him in at all. He literally just goes flying as soon as McConaughey takes his hands off of him.
Gotcha. Oh god, and of course, justice being served.
Right.
Very, yeah.
And then at the end of it all, after Frank plummets into the ocean, McConaughey just dramatically and all sweaty like just looks up into the sun and just gives a guttural ah! All right, so we're wrapping up, Dragon. We're wrapping up here.
The guy sinks in there and it's like ah.
Pretty much. All right, so it cuts to news footage that reveals that Patrick McConaughey's son was arrested on murder charges, but it was okay because his mother was in an abusive relationship and he just was showing self-defense or something, I guess. And so we're letting the kid go.
Well, I mean, technically he would be a minor, so I mean, basically a question of juvenile things. And again, if they argue self-defense, I mean, look, I'm not saying all the legalese is correct on that. I'm just saying that so basically the newscast is saying like, teen kills abusive stepfather and gets away scot-free, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm. And then this is also where Dylan Baker's name gets dropped again. Because it's revealed that Dylan Baker in this reality is a high school principal.
Okay.
And also the other time that Dylan Baker's name gets brought up is when Anne Hathaway early in the movie is kind of dissecting like how she found Matthew McConaughey, and she's like, one of the guys from our high school reunion said he was in Plymouth Island and he took a fishing tour with a man by the name of Baker Dill. And I knew right away, Dylan Baker, your favorite math teacher. And then for some reason in this reality, Dylan Baker is a school principal. So for some reason, the occupation has changed. I don't know why. I don't know what point that serves. And again, we never see Dylan Baker at all. His name is just dropped twice in the movie.
Well, you know, in my heart of hearts, I like to think that Dylan Baker is actually played by actor Dylan Baker. I'd like to think
all right, and then it's also revealed, I actually think this is kind of a clever twist. that Frank isn't a billionaire at all. He's just kind of like a blue collar jerk
Okay.
who who basically just kind of comes home from a hard day of work on the construction site and beats his wife.
Hmm.
I don't know. I honestly do kind of like that twist because it's like, throughout the whole movie, Frank is like portrayed as this over the top, like Miami Vice villain type character.
Right.
And then he's just kind of like an average Joe.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Do we know what Baker Dill's real name is?
John something.
John something?
It's something really generic. It's like John Moore or something like that.
That was a letdown. I thought it was gonna be like at least like another catchy name, but yeah, all right.
Nope.
All right. Okay, so blue collar reveal, and then
All right, so the newscast kind of ends. And then we cut back to McConaughey in the video game, and he's like, "Well, I guess since this is all a video game, I'm not actually gonna get to see Patrick." And Anne Hathaway is just like, "You'll see him one day." And then, oh god, Dragon, the movie just gets even more. It throws you a fucking left-handed curveball right at the very end. All right.
all right.
So a payphone outside of the bait shop randomly rings, and McConaughey picks it up, and it's fucking Patrick.
How does that conversation go?
I have no idea, Dragon. I don't know. I don't know. This is the point where I just throw my hands up and I'm just like, this makes no sense.
What do you mean you don't know? what did
I
say?
don't know because the movie literally doesn't explain how it's happening.
No, I mean, that was like how. I mean, okay, so he calls on the phone. What does he say?
Patrick's just like, Dad, I've done something really bad. And McConaughey's like, no, I know about it, son. You did the right thing. You were protecting your mother. And then the son's just like, I'm going to program it so that I can come visit you, Dad. And then and then the music starts to swell and it starts like it's as if they're going for like a really emotional ending after all that shit. But it's just like, yeah, son, you come down here. You meet me at the Serenity, and we'll go on an adventure together. And so, really dramatically, the last shot of the movie is the son meeting McConaughey at his boat, and the boat pulls off. We get this big pull out of like the tiny island in the middle of the giant body of water. And the son's just like, we can go anywhere, Dad. Fucking credits.
Okay, just hit me with that last bit one more time.
What, the line or just the whole thing?
Well, just the line and what prefaces the line.
Okay, so McConaughey's son meets McConaughey at the dock. They go on the boat, they pull out. We get this dramatic reveal of like the tiny island in the middle of the vast ocean. And then it cuts to black, and the son's like, we could go anywhere now, Dad.
That's it.
That fucking credits.
Oh God, that's kind of stupid. Really, it's all. Tiki, I gotta tell you, it's all just kind of stupid. Really, it's just really just. I gotta tell you, my biggest logic hole in the whole thing, like again, that the whole video game twist kind of threw for a loop. Well, I mean, it doesn't fix anything, but at least it explains it. But I gotta tell you, 13-year-old a kid who's 13 years old can program a game that intricately.
Right.
How does this game look on the outside going in? Like, what does it look like when
From the outside, it looks like a PS1 graphics level first person fishing game.
Weird. Huh. Yeah, that's all. I'm glad I didn't see that movie. I even really know anything about this movie, and therefore I'm just kind of blessed by ignorance on this one for a change. So yeah, pretty good.
Got any final questions or anything?
All right, let me see. What do you think's next for Matthew McConaughey?
Oh Oh man, Dragon. I mean, I like me some Matthew McConaughey, but this movie kind of proves that he's just doing stuff for vacations.
Would you say it's the end of the McConaissance?
I would definitely say this movie is like Matthew McConaughey's Catwoman.
Okay, let's recap it because the McConaissance, I guess it began with Dallas Buyers Club, right?
Either that or like Mud or Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's say Mud, Wolf of Wall Street, Dallas Buyers Club, Stellar. Well, basically, it was going strong for 4 movies, it seems. Then you had kind of dicey territory with Darkest Tower, and then you have this.
Oh, Dark Tower is like I would much rather watch this again than Dark Tower.
Sure. But then, of course, if you want to throw in Kubo for good measure, you have at least got at least I guess you have 5 really good movies if you want to count Kubo in there. But again, that's kind of dicey. But I'm saying it's a good movie. I'm saying it's not a McConaughey-led movie. But even then, you have like Wolf of Wall Street. The point is, he cleaned up for 5 movies, and then of course, then we kind of go with yeah, it's a shame.
Yep.
God,
I mean, I just really want your just unfiltered just reaction to this whole thing, Dragon. I want your final thoughts.
All right, blindfolded reaction to the whole thing. I gotta tell you, it does sounds insane. Sounds very derivative. I don't mean every comparison we made is like directly like it's like a direct reference to it, but I'm just saying like this movie just feels like why does it exist? That's my main reaction. Why is this movie exist? Why did McConaughey do this? Again, aside from the vacation thing, which again it's like why would McConaughey pull such an Adam Sandler movie? Why? Like, imagine an Adam Sandler movie that's trying to be a Black Mirror, essentially. That's kind of the best way you can put it. Like, I mean, again, in theory, just based on you telling me,
how dare you talk bad about Punch Drunk Love?
Well, you know what I mean.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, like those, like basically all the Vacation Sandler movies, the folks out there. Anyway, yeah, it's sort of.
To be fair, in Punch Drunk Love, he goes to Hawaii, so it's technically an Adam Sandler vacation movie.
Well, yeah, but that was him doing work, though. Again, that was working.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah, but yeah, on the whole, it's just this again. You telling me this, Bearman, all this based on what Tiki told me here, folks. Again, if anything's wrong, if I'm just saying like, how dare he say that? Blame Tiki. But no, I'm kidding. But Tiki, again, something intrigues me about this movie. Again, like going for a twist like that. But again, it feels like a part of me feels like this idea could work, but again, if restructured and if done more competently, like a kid filtering out his life's issues through a video game. But again, I instantly can't buy the kid did all this on his own. But I'm intrigued by like the idea of like the kid's life kind of being filtered through the game. That interests me as a concept, but all of this though, like calling it Serenity, like I don't think the movie knows what it's doing at all.
There's absolutely no reason why this movie's called Serenity, other than the fact that Serenity is Matthew McConaughey's boat.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just this movie just feels really. Again, bear in mind I haven't seen it, but based on having a really good description of it, this movie sounds stupid. It sounds like the worst thing in 2019, starting off the gate.
Dragon. On a technical level, it is the worst thing I've seen in 2019. But my God, in my heart of hearts, it's the best thing I've seen in 2019. Dragon, this is my kind of bad movie, all right? This is exactly what I look for. This is like The Room or The Dancing It's On of 2019.
I'll give you this. It does sound like The Room, but I don't think it has like room stay power. I think this thing's gonna be like forgotten in a big way. I gotta tell you.
I don't know. I don't know about that. People, it's a ball, I'm sure, yeah. But the people who are seeing it are all reacting the same way. Even if they hate it, they're just like, holy shit, this movie is bananas. Like this movie it's quickly gaining the reputation of one of the most what the fuck twists in cinema history.
I gotta be honest, Tiki. I think it might have stood a better chef. I got rid of some of the uber creepy stuff in the movie. Like I'm talking all the like the underage girl stuff and the whole like the skinny dip and all that weird stuff. Just sounds like I don't know. It might have a better That's the thing. I think they're pushing the boundaries too much for just random shock, not even good shock, just random shock, and I feel it's going to hurt them with the longevity factor. Tiki, I really do.
I mean, only time will tell, of course. And keep in mind, like I think Dancing It's On is one of the most wonderful bad movies I've ever seen in my life. But by the same token, Brad Jones is literally the only person I've ever seen talk about that movie. So, it's one of those things like Dancing It's On isn't exactly The Room in terms of notoriety, but I honestly think for me personally, Dancing It's On is maybe even more fun than The Room. So, even if this doesn't catch on, it's still my type of bad movie, and I'm gonna have a really hard time ranking this one because even out of the stuff I've seen so far, like Escape Room is more competently made, and Glass is at the very least a little bit more like I don't know, man. I really do genuinely like this movie better than Glass. All right, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, I think it's just you taking the Shyamalan thing too personal. That's what I really think.
Okay, it might be, but at the very least, I felt like this is like the bad Shyamalan movie that I want to see. All right, like, and I've got to admit, this movie does have some Shyamalanisms in it, from the weird side characters to like the off-kilter dialogue to the massive twist. Like, this movie does have Shyamalan written all over it, and I've got to admit, Dragon, it was a more satisfying Shyamalan movie than Glass was.
I gotta tell. Let me tell you where I'm at on this movie on the whole here. With I feel there's baffling. Here's the thing: you can have a crazy movie, and a crazy movie can be a lot of fun. A crazy movie can work, but I feel this is, for me at least, this is a crazy movie. Just again from the sounds of it, it's a crazy movie that it's crazy, but in a nonsensical way. You can go big, you can go bold, you can go just like yeah. If you can have actors like ham it up and go in a full like 12 out of like a scale of 10. You can do that. But again, you need to have something that's at least, I don't know, something a little more simpler and something you can follow a little bit more. I think again, you can go broad, you can go crazy, and again, you can like heighten things. I just feel you need to commit to it. I don't think this movie's committing to a style. I think it's just kind of too all over the place for me. That's I don't know. That's where I'm at on it. In terms of like
Fair,
kind of crazy shock factor movie.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm.
And I mean, Glass is more competently made, I guess. I mean, like, here's the thing, Dragon. The music in this movie is relatively good. The cinematography in this movie is relatively good. It's got some big name actors in it. Some of them, like Jason Clarke, are kind of like hamming it up intentionally. But
Uh,
like that's the thing. This movie does have some production value behind it, which is why I kind of hesitate because honestly, Dragon, to me, Glass is an ugly looking movie for the
Yo,
most part.
really? You said really nice things about the look of Glass before. Really? You're saying it's ugly?
I'm not really impressed by the look of it. I'm really not. But basically what I'm coming down on is that I would go to the theater 5 more times to see this movie, to see Serenity. Whereas Glass is simply a movie that I never want to see again.
Well, again, I think that's more taste. I think it's more taste than objectivism, but I hear you out on that. I
Oh,
don't get it.
it's definitely taste. And you know me, Dragon. I'm a sucker for bad movies like this. And this movie just absolutely like Dragon, it's tough for me. Like, I don't find many bad movies like this, all right? So when I do, I fucking cherish it. Because, like, most of the bad movies that I see are just bad because they're boring. Like, Winchester is a movie that's bad because it's fucking boring and nothing happens. This movie is a movie that's bad because it's batshit crazy and the dialogue is ridiculous and the twist is even more ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, this is just one of those. I don't know, man. I'm in love with it. I really am. So,
All
yeah,
right.
I want you to do
What?
I want you to call me a hooker.
Um, you're nothing but a hooker, Tiki.
A hooker who can't afford hooks. All right, all right, all right.
Wait.